This is the biggest in-studio guest selection I've ever had. How do you guys rate yourself when it comes to money?
I think I'm pretty good.
Out of 10, what do you give yourself?
I'm going to start lower than Grace. I'm going to go 5.5.
Good, honest feedback.
And I'm so excited to hear yours.
Yeah, me too.
If you're 5.5, I was thinking I'm like a 6, but I have no idea about money. This is so bad.
This is awesome. Yes, 3 women and 3 kind of different approaches to money. Grace reckons she's an 8 out of 10 with her finances, side hustles, a house already in the bag, and a savings system that sounds like it came straight out of a finance blog. Caitlin's halfway there. She's debt-free now, but still figuring out what good habits look like. And Sam? Well, she's organised on paper, but admits discipline isn't her strong suit. It's Money Month, and we're going back to basics. Money in, money out. Sounds simple, right? But if it was that easy, none of us would be wondering where the hell our pay went by Tuesday. This month is all about building financial resilience, having the buffer, the habits, and the structure to handle the curveballs that life throws at you. Welcome back.
Welcome to Where's My Money? One man, $1 million of debt, one podcast to find a way out.
After sharing my story so publicly in this very podcast, a lot of people have asked about the Enable Me coaching sessions. What are they like? How strict are they? Some of my friends, colleagues, and listeners said they would never do it because they don't want someone else seeing their spending habits. Possibly because they don't want to admit how bad they are with money. But that's where the opportunity lies. So instead of just telling people that it's fine and actually massively helpful, I thought, why don't we put some of you through the process? Here's the challenge. For the next 2 weeks, with the help from experts at Enable Me, we're tracking every dollar these 3 spend. Every coffee, every round at the bar, every, oops, I forgot my leftovers, supermarket stop. And then we're going to sit them down and show them the patterns they didn't even know were there. We'll find the little wins that could make a big difference, the tweaks that can turn I'm fine into I'm sorted, and we'll test just how close each of them is to being able to weather a real financial storm. Will Grace's confidence survive the cold hard numbers? Will Caitlin's progress stall or surge forward? And will Sam finally stop using emergency as code for shoes I really liked? This is Where's My Money, and let's meet them before their spending habits go under the microscope. So, let's start from the very beginning. How do you guys rate yourself when it comes to money? Grace, I'll start with you.
Oh, I think I'm pretty good. I've got a couple of side hustles going, and I generally know where my money's at. I've got really good saving habits. Like as soon as my pay comes in, my savings go out. So yeah, I think if we had out of 10, I'd probably say 7.5, 8.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you, what are your goals? Like, do you want to buy a house? Have you already got a house?
Yeah, so we've bought a house. My partner and I, we will settle in December.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So really excited for that. We've been practicing our mortgage payment, so we've just kind of gone with what we think our rate will be, and we're obviously still paying our rent in our current house, and then we'll put saving the difference. So the goal is to be comfortable with that,
yeah,
and then also having enough slush fund so we can go on holidays. Nothing, I've had so many friends who've had mortgages that go, oh no, we can't do that, or sorry, no, can't have a holiday, can't join you for dinner, can't whatever it might be, because we've got a mortgage, and I just don't want that for us.
Yep.
So yeah.
Man, you're like Enable Me's dream customer. You've already got it like kind of sorted.
No.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit.
I can
I'm
see.
still living my life like I'm 18.
This is
I still do
why.
that.
This is why I recruited you, and we'll get to you in a second. So, it's funny that you say the slush, because you've got your expenses covered, but everything else is just everything else.
Yes, yeah.
And it sounds like you could do with some like more specific goal setting to
Yeah.
go, in the next 12 months I want to do this, and this.
Yeah, I
So
want
we're
to
going
have
to
a car or a holiday or whatever that might be. Yeah, it's a bit grey in that area.
are there any things that keep you, I'll come back to that.
Yes.
Caitlin, where are you at with money?
Oh no.
What age, stage, life situation are you in?
I am in a stage where I could be a hell of a lot better,
Yeah.
but I've also come a long way from where I was.
Okay.
Probably a little bit of a rogue background is that my money habits came from a business point of view more than anything. That was my life, and I was running 2 businesses at the time. My money sort of focused around that, so it's
Yeah.
probably not the best example in terms of paying a wage or the likes of how that looks. But in the last few years, it's been, I suppose, tackling down some debt that I'd got myself into at a younger age, snowballing that out so that was no longer an issue, and then focusing on, life, adult things, I suppose.
So are you debt-free now?
Yes,
Nice.
I am entirely. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a lot, but it was still debt is debt.
No, totally. And it's a good achievement to get rid of it.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh yeah, on to the next. So no, I'm in a position where we bought into our house. So the mortgage side of things, but also, focusing on things like getting, I suppose, a family type car, or next stages of life and whatever that looks like, but being financially prepared for that.
Yeah.
Is something that
So you've got kids, don't have kids?
don't have kids.
You don't have kids?
No, but hopefully
you
that's on the horizon,
Yep.
and being in a place where I'm comfortable enough financially to manage that.
Yeah, totally. So
where-
you want to set up some good habits now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of work that can be done there.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Yeah.
Out of 10, what do you give yourself?
I'm going to start lower than Grace. I'm going to start with I'm going to go 5.5 because it also means it could be a lot worse, but there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, nice. Okay, that's good honest feedback.
And I'm so excited to hear yours.
Yeah, me too.
If you're 5.5, I was thinking I'm like a 6, but
I can up mine
not.
slightly.
oh man, I have no idea about money. This is so bad.
This is awesome.
No.
Okay, so Sam, you are how old?
How old do you think I am? no, I'm 29.
You're 29, so you're still in
Yeah.
your 20s. That's all right.
Yes.
And when I look back at my 20s, I pissed money away. So don't feel shame attached to this, but I do. This
Yeah.
is why, because I've got the hindsight now, and I see people in their 20s, and I'm like, God, I wish I could just help you. Not that I've got all the answers, but I know some people who've got the answers, and that's why we're gonna enable me to track your spending over the next couple of weeks and find some room for improvement. And
There'll be a lot.
well, take us through your habits. Like, do you own a house?
No.
So no mortgage.
No mortgage.
Any kids?
No kids. No.
No kids. So
No
all your
kids.
money is currently just yours, apart from like rent
Yes.
and my food bag, I assume. Something
No,
like that.
I cook.
Okay, you cook.
Yeah. Cook or Uber Eats, but yeah.
How often do you Uber Eats?
Depends how late I'm working. Yeah. I guess I'm starting to do a lot more freelance work now. So I guess work is becoming more of a priority. I'm not playing any rugby or sport. That also was a massive thing in my life growing up. So not having after school work, I guess.
Yep.
It was all, and like through study and everything like that, I didn't have a job. It was all just like study, go to training. And so like financially, I think that has always been on the back burner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money's kind of just come in and kind of
Yes.
disappeared again.
Yeah. So in terms of like how I deal with my money at the moment, like as soon as like payday comes in, I split it out, what goes to rent, what goes to spending, what goes to saving, and then there's another section that's like could spend if you need, which always goes out
What is
anyway.
that category?
But the
I definitely have one of
intention,
those.
yeah, you're like if you need, like emergencies, and every time there's an emergency. But yeah, I guess
Emergency, I need these boots.
yeah,
Yeah.
I need these rugby boots. But I
Fashion
guess like
emergency.
there's intention to save because I want,
Okay.
I want to buy a house. I am planning to have kids in the future, so I want to start banking that and be better with my money. But I guess the discipline isn't there. So
Social life, are you out quite a bit?
no, not as much as I used to. But
You're grounded because you've got a boyfriend.
yes, I do.
Yeah. Do you think that changed things quite a bit? Like
Yeah.
finding a partner and sort of
Definitely.
not being out lots?
Oh, 100%. Not being out much. Just being a little bit more selective with what like social events I go to.
Yeah.
But I am a very social person and I struggle to say no to things. So I'm always like, yup. And then I'm that person that will be like, first round's on me. Next round's on me. I hate other people paying for me. So I'll always, offer to pay for them or like
Okay.
catch up with friends, pay for their lunch. Like, so I'm always kind of like wanting to pay it forward a little bit, which puts me more in the damage zone.
I don't think you're as
Yeah.
bad as you think. It sounds like you've got some structure to your income and your outgoings, but
Okay.
possibly could be better. And again, I'm not the expert, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to be the one looking at the numbers. If I ask out of 10, what's your rating now?
Well, you're 5.5. I'm gonna say a solid 3.
Okay. No, I think
I
you're
reckon
good.
you'll be better.
You sound better than a 3.
Okay, cool.
In terms of what keeps you awake at night when it comes to like, if you were to have money thoughts in the middle of the night, we'll start with you, Grace. What would be the one thing that would keep you awake if it was money related?
It's probably not having that I've squirreled away too hard, and then I can't meet that rent payment, or I can't do the social thing that I wanted to do. Yeah, that's generally how it goes for me.
Okay.
There are definitely times that I have that of like, oh,
The nighttime money spiral.
yeah.
Don't worry, I've been there. Caitlin, what about you? Do you have any of those like awake at night money moments?
I don't know that I do. I think I definitely did. I think the last 3 years of my life since I met my partner and have been with him, when I first met him, polar opposites of money. I would throw anything at anywhere. For example, my best friend's daughter had something to celebrate, and I was like, here's a $600 Barbie dream house that will last a month. And then I'm like, you get a dream house, you get a dream house. And I'm like, I don't have a dream house.
Yeah.
Because I'm giving you all dream houses. So I think the last few years and having his discipline with money that I never had has been a huge amount of progress in my life when it comes to my finances and whatnot. So now I'm in a position where I probably don't wake up thinking about that, but I definitely did.
That's good.
In terms of who gets the next dream house.
Yeah, that's like it.
Now I want a dream house.
Can I have a drink?
Yeah. Sam, do you have any of the awake at night money moments?
Yeah, 100%. I think so. I'm a twin, I have a twin sister, and if we go out for lunch or drinks or shopping, because our wardrobe is split, which is ideal.
What?
Yeah, but she'll be like, oh, I'll get this round. And then I'm like, sweet, I'll get this the next round. But then it gets to a point where both of us are like, flip, we need money. Hey, can you pay me back for this? Hey, can you pay me back for that? And that's what's stressful, because when it's say she gets at that time and I'm like, oh, I'll flick you through money, and then you go out on a big bender and then you've got to pay
Hang on,
them
you didn't mention the benders before.
Oh, well, that sometimes happens.
Maybe you are a
Brush
3.
it under the rug.
Sometimes happens. Yeah, and then you pay her back on Monday or Tuesday because she needs her money for the week, or whatever. That puts you out, so I get stressed owing her money. Yeah, being like, shoot. But then it's a circle effect, because then it'll be on the other side. She owes me money, and then I'm stressed not wanting to ask her for it.
Do you think because you're twins, you both wake up at the same time and you have the same kind of thoughts? Yeah.
Text, I'm losing sleep over this, by the way. But we, over the years, we've definitely gotten better about it. Just being like, look, we're not going to spend money we don't have, and kind of pay each other back earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were to lose your job tomorrow, touch wood, or you were seriously injured or something and there was no insurance, basically, how long do you think you could go without income? How much buffer do you think you've got?
I probably only have 2 months worth.
Caitlin?
I'm going to say less than that. I'm going to say maybe a month.
Sam?
Yeah, I would say a month.
So
maybe.
So what... Money Month is all about resilience and having these things we can fall back on in the worst case scenarios, and we should have 3. We should have 3 months worth of money to live on. Cool. So maybe I've got some new reasons for you guys to stay awake at night, because you're almost there, but you guys
We've got a long way to go.
So
damn.
By tracking you guys spending over a few weeks, what I want to do is hopefully introduce you guys to some new ways you can structure your spending habits. Maybe it's your bank accounts, maybe it's your cards, and kind of use some of the experts from Enable Me to model what you could have in a year or 5 or 10 years time if you kick in some really good habits. And obviously 2 weeks isn't a big window to see what your full spending habits are like, but I think it gives a little snapshot as to what you could achieve if you really nailed down some serious habits. So you guys all game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Let's do it. Well, we've met Sam, Grace and Caitlin. We've heard where they think they're at with money. Now it's time to bring in someone who's seen it all. Karen, a coach from Enable Me. I want to know what she looks for in those first conversations when she's digging into someone's spending. The patterns and the trends that tell her a lot fast. the habits that are red flags, and the ones people stress over but probably shouldn't, and the missing pieces that, as a coach, make her think we've got some work to do here. Let's hear what Karen has to say. Karen, thanks for joining us again on Where's My Money. It's nice to see you. We're about to track the spending of three kind of different girls who, you know, they admit different levels of financial abilities when it comes to saving and spending. And when you have a client come on board with Enable Me, what do you start to look for in those first conversations when you're looking at someone's spending?
Their spending habits, what they spend their money on, what they think is important in life, because it's very, very different from, everyone's different. Everyone will come in and they'll have different goals, different things that they think are priorities. So we look at a lot of that. We look at whether or not somebody could save or doesn't save, whether they've got short-term debts. They use things like Afterpay and things like that. So a lot of what we look at is the psychology behind why you spend, where you spend, and why you think it's a priority. And different in people's lives, priorities change, right?
When it comes to the psychology, how often is part of the problem just not even looking?
I'd say 80% of the time is not looking, and not
80.
I'd say
80.
Some people have got no idea where their money goes to. And
No, I know.
People just think it's all right, it's going to work out, and I just need to live for today, and it will work out.
It's head in the sand. We were like that. But a lot of people do ask me, what's it like having people track your spending? What do they look at? What is it scary? Are they trying to catch you out on stuff?
It can be quite funny because some people honestly are like, oh my God, we realised we had our meeting and, you know, we've looked through where we spent our money and we're feeling quite nervous. And then other people are like, oh, well, I've done my best. And then other people are like, I'm so proud of how I've done, you know, like I've stuck within my spending plan. I'm feeling really good. So everyone feels differently about it. But I think at the end of the day, it's quite liberating to know where you spend your money, because then you really start to get some control and you can actually start to set yourself some goals and get where you actually do want to be. Because, you know, the head in the sand thing is just like, well, it's just fate whether I can afford to buy a house. Whereas if you've got a bit of a plan, you can say, well, I can afford to go on holiday, or I can afford to pay off my short-term debt, or I can afford to buy a house because...
Yeah. Well, yeah, as we've learned, hope is not a strategy, and these bad habits, if you've got them, the best way to get rid of them is to know where you stand and start working towards it, right? You don't know what you don't know. What are some habits that clients think are bad but aren't actually a huge worry for you as a coach?
Coffee.
Right, okay. Because that's all the media pumps us with, is stop buying coffees and stop buying Avo on toast.
Yeah, and during the triple CFA time in banks, where the banks were actually checking every single thing that you spent your money on, and coffee, and I think they used the whole avocado on toast was another thing that they used.
Smashed Avo.
They're not big things. Like at the end of the day, if you buy a coffee a day, it's not huge. I mean, you could make your own coffee, but part of the coffee culture is actually about socialising. It's actually not just about buying the coffee. But if you go and buy a coffee and a muffin every day, and then you buy another coffee at lunchtime, and then you buy another coffee at afternoon tea, that can kind of build up and become a bit of an addiction and a problem. So little things like that don't make a massive difference, really, at the end of the day.
So that's the things that people are spending their money on. Are there things that when you track someone's money and you look at their statement for a month or two or three and you go, hang on, you aren't doing this. Is there anything that worries you when there's something not there?
What they're not doing? Probably if they don't have insurances in place is one thing I'm concerned about. Because things can happen. Like I think you just said this morning you were in a car accident on the way to work.
I was.
Luckily you're okay. Hopefully your car's all right.
I'm a walking, talking insurance story. I've always got something to say about insurance.
I know. And, you know, and it's a whole head in the sand because we all think nothing's going to happen to us, like we're invincible, but actually, unfortunately, things do happen. So I think, you know, you can have that great plan, but if you don't have the backup of insurance or buffers, you know, money saved to protect you when things go wrong, then it can actually completely destroy your plan. I had a girl that I worked with when I was working at ASB, and she had no car insurance. Can you believe this? She hit another car and she wrote that car off, and it was $10,000. She had to pay for that business car, and it's like, but your premiums are so cheap. Why would you not do it? She goes, I never thought about it. Like,
yeah. It's a hard pill to swallow when you start adulting and you've got to pay for insurance, because when you start paying for that kind of stuff, it does seem like money disappearing into the ether. But man, when you need it, there are no regrets, right?
And when you're younger and you can get insurances, not just the house contents and motor type insurance, but the medical insurance.
This is why it pays to have an expert helping you with these things. Karen, I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. I can't wait to see how these girls go with their spending and their tracking.
I know. It's going to be really, really exciting. I think it's really important when you're younger is things like that work-life balance, right? You go out a lot. You're not always organised to do things. When you're buying takeaways, buy something that's going to last. Like my daughter's 21. McDonald's is her go-to. But I said to her, get something like Chinese, right? Because you have that meal and you have another meal left over for the next day. So takeaways eats into your budget quite quickly, and it's so easy just to do the drive-through at McDonald's or KFC, but just spend a little bit extra time and get something that's going to last a bit longer.
Such a great call.
That was my mum tip.
No, that's a great mum tip. And shout out to John Chan Takeaways in Te Aratu Peninsula, because the serving sizes are fantastic and we'll always get 2 to 3 more meals out of it. So it's learn your locals, find out who has the best serving sizes and go from there, right? Okay, so according to Karen, some spending sins aren't exactly worth losing sleep over, but there are patterns that should have you worried. And if the basics, like knowing your money in and money out, are missing, that's when she really starts sharpening her pencil, and that's where she probably gets you to do the same. Sam, Grace and Caitlin have had their warning. They've been set up with the Money Fit tracker, which is connected to their bank accounts. Now it's 2 weeks of money tracking with Enable Me. Every coffee, every late night snack, and every just this once spend. Next time we'll see the receipts, literally, and find out whose habits are sharper than they thought and who needs a serious tune-up. Hit follow so you don't miss it. Send this episode to a mate who swears they're good with money, and tell us on socials at Where's My Money NZ what spending habit you know would catch you out. See you next time, where we'll be asking our 3 new friends, where's all their money?